first song that you remember ever hearing?
I would say Pink Floyd, Money.
Pink Floyd, Money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of my dad.
Because
Well,
your dad.
stepdad. It just stuck with me, like the tones and the ringing of the money, and I was always inquiring, like what is that? You know what I mean? First experimental thing I've heard.
Okay. It's funny because I was gonna ask you. I noticed you compared to a lot of other rappers that I've ever seen. You have a whole different style in terms of artists that you listen to, a genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
Like you listen to everything. So tell me like some artists that you like listen to outside of like hip hop.
Well, it's groups like Guns N' Roses, Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana, Metallica.
Okay. You think that it all blends well together with like hip hop and everything?
It
Like,
can.
like, what do you think? Like before, there was like this stigma or the stereotype, like, oh, if you listen to rock music, you can't be a hip hop head. And
It was like that when I was growing up. I mean,
so
probably same for you, right?
yeah, absolutely.
But I kind of secretly dabbled. You know what I mean?
Why was it like that though? Why do you think it was like on the
Why-
low and now it's accepted?
Because everything is black and white when you're growing up. You know what I mean? And that's I feel like it's not just music. It's schoolyard shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything seems different now though. I feel like, especially now with artists, for example, like Kid Cudi, who like is always, subgenre within hip hop, like whatever it is, but you know what I mean? Like you're seeing more different sounds and styles kind of come together.
Yeah.
Is that something that you want to, maybe experiment one day just outside of hip hop?
Well, like, I kind of want to say something, but I don't know. I'm doing kind of like a Rage Against the Machine type mashup with a guy in a metal band.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Very cool.
But it's true to me, like it's honest because I like that music. You know what I mean? So it's going to come across not forced like a Limp Bizkit or something.
Okay.
I guess I kind of just threw a shot there, but who cares? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's very true to me.
Okay.
So and we've demoed about 3 records. So
Wow.
You'll hear that.
I guess since we talked about Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, so on and so forth. What about like hip hop? Who are guys that you not just influence you, but who are the guys that you go to when things are a little rough?
I'll say something like fellow fans of Smash Mouth, like Cudi. I love Cudi, man. That guy's very honest to him. Like Nas, who else? AZ. Maybe some of the earlier MCs that are still doing it.
Really, eh?
I mean, there is some new cats. I mean, but I'm kind of big on substance. I mean, not when I go out and I party, I don't want to hear substance. That's bottom line.
Really?
But what sticks with me and what I, kind of go to is substance.
Okay. Right now, Salem's been out for a while. You kind of transition now. When I first seen you, Flex the Antihero. Now you're kind of not to say that you're not still doing your group thing, but you're kind of branching out a bit. How do you feel, like as a solo artist?
Good, man. I mean, I feel what I'm putting out is just all me now. My image maybe changed a little bit, and it's more me now. I'm kind of I don't feel boxed in, and not to say that I felt boxed in with the group, but I just kind of grew in the last year where, I kind of know where I want to be.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel that now you're gonna be able to maybe illustrate a different side of Flex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not afraid to dabble. Like I love music. Like there's something I get from any type of genre. You know what I mean? From R&B to soul to metal to everything touches me in different ways. Like certain things in hip hop I can't get out of metal. Certain things out of metal I can't get from hip hop. It's good. I mean, I'm glad I have that kind of taste, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what about like, we just talked about Salem, like the creative process. What was the creative process, during that entire time? Because the project is very deep and dark and personal. But like I said, I always say like it's very honest though. What was life like during Salem?
It was kind of rough, man. Like I was just dealing with my own demons, like hardships, kind of crossroads with certain people, and I kind of pushed everybody away and kind of just.
Is that how you deal with things, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the right way, but I mean, I learned a lot from it, and I mean, people relate to it. You know what I mean? A lot of the records, it was a selfish album. I wrote it for me.
Okay.
But having people come up to me like, yeah, I've been there, and I'm like, cool, I'm glad you could get something out of it.
It was, I guess, therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man. Like Violet's probably the deepest song I've ever written in my life. Like, that was real.
Violet, I got that. When I heard that, that was one of the first songs that like I was like, whoa. All right, so this is pretty serious kind of thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned depression and being down.
Yeah.
How you feel now?
I don't know, man. Some days you don't know. Like I think I have maybe it's deeper in me than I realize, but I mean I don't know if I'm willing to face that yet. I think I like my music to just kind of take me places.
Okay.
So maybe down the road, it may be something I need to deal with. You know, who knows?
Is music your outlet, or you just enjoy it?
It's my outlet.
It's your outlet? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I felt great when I heard it right through. You know, it really made sense, and I could kind of go back to exactly where I was.
Okay. So is it tough to deal with that?
Yeah, totally. Time? Yeah. Like even certain songs performing, like it's like some heavy shit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Okay, I gotta ask you, just because we've kind of had discussions about, off camera. What's, the industry, politics. Yeah. Like, what's your opinion of like the industry right now? Like, I mentioned Toronto right now on a high, but just in general, like the music industry, it's tough. But what are some things that you love and hate about it? The yin and the yang.
I mean, I love our team. Like, shout out to everybody on Smash Mouth, man, because I feel like we're actually a collective where everybody fucks with each other legit, and we all come from different backgrounds. You know what I mean? And the fact that we can all get on a track in 2 seconds and have something fire. You know what I mean? So I like that aspect of having a proper team. What I don't like is people pretending that we're not making a lot of noise. Because I think we drop projects on time, quality work. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're efficient, man. How can you front on that? That's where it shows, where people, everybody wants something for themselves, but they're not willing to give it up for anybody else.
Oh, that's 100%.
You know what I mean?
On that. Yeah. It's funny that you say that because, about Smash Mouth, they are doing a lot. You guys are killing it. But do you, as an artist, feel overlooked?
Not really.
No,
you're because content? No, I'm not content. But I think in the next coming months, you're gonna. You'll see.
What's gonna be different?
You will see me live a lot more.
You'll see you live.
And you're gonna see how those records kind of translate, to a performance, a real performance.
All right. I remember you mentioning actually earlier about, you didn't want to be in a box, and we talked about stereotypes and genres. Like, how do you feel now about, like, the typical, stereotype, the white guy rapper, the tattoos? Like, do you feel totally separate from those other kind of rappers, like a Mac Miller or
totally.
Machine Gun Kelly? Like,
I mean, and I respect those. Like, I like their music, right? But, I don't know. I feel I'm my own man. And, I mean, there's nobody that can tell you that but you. Right. As long as you know you're who you are. You know what I mean? No one's going to tell you what you are.
So what does Flex have to offer that, other people can't?
Just honesty, relatable music, and just able to kind of view everything from every side. Like, you'll hear me make a record you could turn up to. You'll hear me make a record that you can sit and really take in and kind of be like, holy shit, like this guy's has a story, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just trying to cross everything that I feel in my life and present it of how I'd like someone else to view it. You know what I mean? I want everything to be put out properly and accessible.
Okay. So what's the favorite song you've ever made?
Violet.
It's your all-time favorite?
It's just what it was, man. Like, that beat, like, I sat with that beat for months. Shout out to Batman on the beats. And that whole, that sample, just right at the start, it played in my head, and I was drinking, like, heavily at that point, like, really bad. Okay. Like, I had homies come over, and they're like, dude, you can't, like, live like this, bro. And I was like, that's what it is, man. And then when I first wrote that track, that was it. From then on, I was like, that's the one, man. Like, that is my defining record. If I was to say, who are you? I'd be like, here.
So during the process of your, I guess, proudest project, it was also your worst time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's good.
It's good? Okay.
It's good. I like it.
What does hip-hop mean to you?
Hip-hop to me, like, I like it because there's no borders. You know what I mean? Okay. I mean, more so now. Like, people hate all the time, like, oh, it's old. You got to go with the old school. I don't agree with that, man. Like, I respect for what it was, but if you can't embrace the new, you're never gonna go anywhere. Like, those days are done. Like, you gotta face it,
Yeah, I'm all for evolution. Like, there's people that I talk to all the time, and when I ask them what they're listening to, what they're liking that's new, and they show me like a Tupac CD. Like, I love Tupac more than anybody, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't just stay in '96.
Well,
right?
go back. You wouldn't see someone like me rapping in the '90s. Like, not saying I couldn't rap then, but I mean, this style was unheard of. You know what I mean? And now everything's just acceptable, man. Like, people really overlook the fact that hip hop's very accepting at the same time.
What's your favorite hip hop album of all time?
Wow, jeez. I don't even know, man. I could throw out a few. Can we do that? Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Jay-Z, more so the backstory of it, of where he was at his life and what he had to do to make that album.
Okay.
I guess the token one would be to say Illmatic, but I'm gonna say it was written.
Okay. I like
Just for the time,
Me
like
too. No, I'm with you.
you know what I mean. And that's a very debatable one. I don't know, man. Can I give you a couple more albums instead of just hip hop? Rage Against the Machine's first album.
Okay.
Radiohead OK Computer is probably my favorite album ever made.
Okay.
Like ever, any genre. So check it out if you haven't heard it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so last thing I'm gonna ask you is what's next for you? I know you got a lot on the go. I don't know if things are on the low about it, but what's next for Flex? Like, where can people see you and get at you?
I'm working on a follow-up to Salem.
Okay.
Not a continuation. I'm going a completely different direction.
Okay.
Those days I want to let that rest. You know what I mean? I'm doing an EP with Alan Raymond, who's on The Wicked. And yeah, there's talk about a new Antiheroes record if we can get together and it comes out the way we want to.
All right, when's the next time we're going to see you live, man? Turning up.
Ooh, May 24th
Where's
with Opera House.
Okay.
With Chu Jackson's Mac Miller's artist, Rich Kid, and then North by Northeast. I'm 3 dates, and I'm doing Young and Dundas Square, the main. So Danny Brown, Run the Jewels.
Dope.
So, yeah.
Okay.
The whole squad's coming out for that one though. It's
I'll
gonna be
be there.
crazy. Yeah, man.
Thank you, bro.
I appreciate it.